Yo, what's going on, guys? So I'm just making this video real quick before I head into work. I got a couple minutes. It was just on my mind on my way driving here. So it really hit me that the wages of sin is death, like literally. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, yo, duh. That's why before, whenever they would sin, they would have to make a sacrifice to the Lord, because the Lord, of course, wanted all of us to be with him in eternity. So he would come up with ways to make sure that would happen. So they would have to make a sacrifice every time. So just imagine every time that we would have sex, we have to go make a sacrifice, because sex outside of marriage is considered a sin. So, man, it's really amazing just how much the Lord, that's why his crucifixion was like so bad when you really think about it, because of how much we're sinning today, because he really took it all for us. And that's why we don't have to make these sacrifices no more. So respects to the Most High. But it's just amazing that when you put it all together, how it does wipe our slates clean of sin. But at the same time, we do still have to follow the rules and regulations and commandments that the Lord has put for us to be able to pretty much be a citizen of the kingdom. You know what I mean? Because basically, if it's a kingdom and we're trying to be subjects of the kingdom, we have to follow all the rules and regulations that the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, has set. And it's no hate. It's no, if you don't want to follow it, he literally gave us free will to do as we wish. And I think it's amazing when you truly think about it, because there's actual celestial beings, angels, that was actually in heaven, created in heaven from their beginning, and they still was able to have Lucifer bring them down. They still was watchers that came down and created an influence by sleeping with mortal women. So you can literally already be in heaven, and if you're not worthy to be there, you can be cast down, you know? So imagine if entities of us, his perfect creations, was in heaven but was unworthy to be there, would just simply end up being cast down. So pretty much, if we unable to follow the rules and regulation here, then we won't be able to follow them there. So it really makes sense that regardless, we have the free will. So if we're going to do our part and we really want to be up there, we have to do it. But many people, I don't believe, genuinely know the word, because all my life I knew about the Lord and I knew about Jesus and everything and so forth, but I never was truly into the Bible and was really like made to read the Bible and understand, and was taught how to do, just how to live by the word, because it really teaches so much. And I'm just now going through my first read. I'm almost done. I'm finna read it again, and during my second read, I'm going to start actually studying and making notes and so on and so forth. I'll show y'all that journey as I do it once I finish my first read. But it's just amazing how much it really teaches you about life and what you are and aren't supposed to do. And so much is just clicking to me, and it's like, yo, this would have been valuable if I had this my entire life, yo, you know. And I feel like a lot of people don't genuinely know how much information is in the Bible and how much answers to life questions and how to have peace within your life is in there. But at the same time, a lot of people aren't going to want to follow the commandments, and they're going to want to idolize the things that of the flesh, or idolize themselves and what they want and their passions and their needs. So man, it's just wild. But regardless, that was just my quick thoughts. I'm gonna go ahead and head into work. But respects to the Most High for taking in so much sin, because we're committing it every single day with no issues and no regard, you know, and knowingly too. And it's amazing. It's crazy. So, but the more you truly understand and you really read the Bible and it sinks into you, it's hard. You can't really go back, because you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to know, but when you really dive into it and try to really soak it in and really understand what's going on, it's a completely different story. You know what I'm saying? Completely different story. So that's why it does says, like, once you know better and then you go back to doing wrong, it's really, that's the sin in of itself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're at that point, you know better, but you're choosing to reject what you know and not even dive further into it to understand or go to God more to help you and so on and so forth. Because you can't do it. You literally can't fight the flesh on your own strength. You will not win. You're going to lose. So you have to depend on the Lord. And that's the only way. Your relationship and connection and bond with the Lord is what fills that hole and that desire that the flesh has you longing for all this other stuff that never can be satisfied. It's an endless hole. Like you need the Lord to fill that hole, and the more you build your relationship with him, the easier it becomes, you know. So I've been working on that. It's been a lot of things that was easy for me to overcome, but of course it's still some things that I'm working on, and it's like smaller things, you know what I mean, like trying to stop cursing, you know, so like not having such a foul mouth, you know what I mean, trying to be better with my temper, you know, so just things of that nature. So bigger things such as like sexual immorality, I was able to stop things like that. So bigger things I'm able to stop, which is, you know, I mean, obvious, especially like idolizing things, so putting the Lord first. So it's the bigger things I say I got a good track on, because it's easier to be like, okay, this is something that obviously is a sin and I obviously want to do it, so let me just speak to the Lord more. And that's honestly what I do. So if you're having a hard time doing it, just speak and consult with the Lord more, you know what I'm saying, because you want to be with him, and you don't want to just be like, okay, I'm going to just do it, the Lord going to forgive me, your Lord, I did it again, sorry. Like, you can't just keep, who wants that? Imagine your relationship with somebody you hang out with, and every time you tell them, don't do this, this is my boundaries, and they keep coming back over and over again, taking your kindness for weakness. You know what I'm saying? We already know what that leads to, especially when you don't know when your time is over. That's a crazy. You don't know when your time is over, so you don't always get a chance to just repent, especially if your heart ain't true. The Lord's gonna know if your heart is true regardless. So you gotta do your best to live by it for as long as possible, and truly like live your lifestyle that way. And honestly, it's more fulfilling because you really can focus on yourself more, and your passions and your goals and whatever it is that's like honestly valuable for life and growth and expansion and for you. Because like only thing sin does is I say the biggest thing is most people have a problem with it, just wanting to do what they want to do without consulting the Lord first. You know what I'm saying? And why would you not want to consult the Lord more? But hey, that's neither here nor there. I just want to have that quick thought before this keeps becoming a ramble session. Y'all have a great one. God bless, and that's it. Y'all have a good one. I'm finna talk some more. Let me stop.